Sunil Raina, President and Head of Business with Lava International joins us. Will you be debating the impact on the company's balance sheet for telcos and what it means for the system at large in terms of the handset maker, content providers, the entire experience and the delivery and the demand for optical fiber or handset, everything is going to change. Nitin, good morning. I'll start with you. 5G launches soon. When I say soon, end of this week, hopefully. What changes automatically? Could there be a price war? Because when India migrated from 2G to 3G and 3G to 4G, it came at a cost of a telecom war.
Yeah, thanks for having me on the show, Nikunj. I think in our view, price war is unlikely because the industry has consolidated. Now we have two large telcos, and Vodafone Idea, as you know, is continuously weakening. It has a very precarious financial position. So in our view, the telcos would have an opportunity to increase the average revenue per user by launching 5G at a slightly higher price than the 4G prices. Now, having said that, I must tell you that we have experienced and seen across the world in different markets where 5G has been launched, 5G has not actually increased the average revenue per user so far. So we have seen the experience of Korea, we have seen in Japan and in US. What 5G has done, has it kept the ARPU at a certain level, but it has not really increased it. Now, Indian market experience could be different. Firstly, because ARPU levels, as you know, are already very low. Bharti has the best ARPU, as we know, at 180 rupees, and management of Bharti has been calling for higher ARPUs. And ARPUs has recently been gradually rising because of consumers moving from 2G, 3G to 4G. So I think what will happen is there is no price war, but gradually we will see ARPU will keep rising up. Telcos will unlikely to market or price the 5G significantly higher than 4G. I think they will only slightly charge higher for 5G.
Sunil, the migration of 2G to 3G also gave perhaps a necessity reboot for the handset market. So voice phones were interchanged with better quality phones, smartphones came in. In your understanding, in next 1 year, 1.5 years, as we migrate from 4G to 5G, could there be a renewed demand of 5G handsets?
I think we can already see it. So if you see countries where 5G has already been launched, the shipment levels have gone beyond 80%. So India is about 30% right now. That's also because we still don't have 5G networks rolled out formally. But I think things are going to change very soon because once the network is available, once it starts to penetrate into different cities, you will see a renewed demand for the 5G handsets. So today we are about 30% of 5G smartphones that come into India in form of shipments. This is likely to go above 50%, I would say, in another 1 year's time, because globally, if you see, the 5G handset penetration has already gone beyond 50% in terms of shipments. So definitely, I think another point is that we spoke about 2G to 3G, 3G to 4G, and now 4G to 5G. We also have to understand that India is I would say it's a very unique country in one sense that you still have a very large base of 2G customers, which is quite unique to India. And on one hand, there's going to be higher growth in 5G smartphones. At the same time, you still will have a large number of 2G phone users in the country. So it's a bit of a unique situation for India. But yes, 4G to 5G migration will happen faster.
Nitin, so how do you see the construct moving in terms of what the companies have provided for in terms of the license fee versus where they would be able to recover by pure tariffs? Because that in a sense always has been, Nitin, the biggest challenge. What you're paying for the license and how much time does it take for telecom companies to recover? The gap in a sense has only increased, whereas in an ideal world it should have decreased because of data consumption.
Yeah, that's right, Nikunj. I think the return on investment in the telco market in India has always been very challenging. And we have seen the 4G experience that what telcos actually paid for the spectrum and licenses, it has been a very gradual return on investment with rising tariff. But I think, in my view, the 5G experience will be different because, as we have been saying, that the industry has been consolidated. Now you have two large players, and they have very limited incentive to go to a price war and further decrease the tariffs. And so, in my view, I think the return on investment for 5G will take some time. It's not going to be a situation where consumers will lap on to the 5G in the next 2 to 3 years. I think it will gradually rise as people move from 4G to 5G and compelling applications also get launched. And when people, will realize that, okay, if my neighbor is getting a 5G, I should also be on a 5G network. And when you have applications which are data intensive, then people will gradually start moving to 5G over the next 5 years or so. So I think it will be a gradual return on investment, and we believe that in terms of the return on investment, the experience on 5G would be far better than 4G.
Sunil, I go back to that very basic point. The migration of handset devices. What is your estimate? How many new 5G handset devices would be sold? How many Lava will sell? How many have you made already?
So I think, see, in terms of, like I said, the shipments, it's about 30% is what is currently happening, which is the total percentage of 5G smartphones. And like I said, it's going to grow very fast, very shortly. As far as we are concerned, what we are working on is to ensure that we lower the entry barrier to the 5G smartphones. So which is, if you see, today the prices of smartphones, 5G smartphones are higher, much higher than a 4G smartphone. Because there are a couple of reasons for it. One is that you need a semiconductor which is of a different capability. Then you need the radio frequency parameters which are very different from what you use in 4G phones. So therefore today, because the massification of the 5G has not still happened in India, once that starts to happen, once the prices start to go down, I think this pace of change is going to be pretty fast. So this 30%, like I said, in 1 year's time could go up to 50% very easily once the networks are rolled out.
Sunil, as well as Nitin, great to have you both on the show. Thank you so much for putting it into perspective as to how the 5G rollout, which the Prime Minister is going to launch and reveal more details on come October 1st, is going to pan out. What's happening on Lupin? They've got warning for their Tarapur facility, and which is why you're seeing such a sharp nosedive come in on that stock. We'll just come up for you on your screens the intraday graph, a warning letter from the FDA from March 22nd to April 4th, and Lupin is now fallen a good 2.5% and continues to fall even further. We'll get to some more info on Lupin, whether the panic is unwarranted or does the facility actually export as much for the stock to warrant this kind of a steep fall, but that on the other side of this quick break.